Hello everybody and welcome back to Chef Sherry's Plant-Based Kitchen. I had a real hunger today for a stroganoff. I don't know why, but I just wanted it. And I went into my email and there was a recipe for it in my inbox from someone by the name of Elizabeth at Elizabeth's Table. I don't know who this is, but I opened up the recipe and I went, we're going to give it a try. So I did most of it here, but I just wanted to show you what it's going to look like at the end and tell you how easy this is to do. It says the prep time is 10 minutes. It took me 5 minutes to prep this. And the cooking time is just 20 minutes total, and I've done most of the work here. So let me tell you what I did. So I took a pound of gluten-free pasta. I used this chickpea pasta. It's what I had in the house. And I made it ahead of time, so here it is, ready to go. And then I made the base for the stroganoff. So what it was I made only a half of this recipe because it's just me and Dale, and we don't need a huge pot of it. So it calls for 2 pounds of pasta, or rather 1 pound. We used a half a pound. And then we used a half of a small white onion. I sauteed it. You just slice it. You don't have to chop it. Real finely sliced. So it looks like pieces like this. Let me show you. So if you can see this onion here, it's not cooperating. Come on up, like that. And I sauteed them, and then I took a pound of mushrooms. You can use any varieties you like. I happen to have cremini mushrooms in the house, so I used them up. And then I started to saute them as well with 2 cloves of garlic that I just minced up, threw it all in. And then the seasonings I put in were paprika and thyme. I didn't have fresh thyme, so I used dried thyme. Calls for fresh thyme, so if you have it, that's even better. So this is where we're at right now. Then I added some white wine, and I'm letting it cook down. Just a little bit of white wine. Now our next step is to take some veggie broth and miso and add that in. So this comes in next. And then it says to cook it for 5 to 7 minutes. So I'm going to do that. There we go. Back on. And it's supposed to thicken. So let's just chat for a few minutes while this is thickening. I don't know if you can tell from my voice, but I'm getting better from COVID. I had it for 12 days, and I think it's finally starting to go away. I'm getting a little bit more energy back. I took a nice, I think 45-minute walk today, enjoyed the beautiful fall colors. That's one of the things I love about living in the Midwest is that we have the most glorious colors in October. I mean, it's like a symphony out there, and it's like every time you walk around, I'm just walking and looking in amazement. So I think, Dale, you and I are going to head out again this afternoon for a little walk, right? Again, right. Because it's so, so beautiful out. Okay, so it says to cook this for 5 to 7 minutes so that it will thicken. So I don't see anything thickening yet, so we'll just let it cook a little bit more. I had a wonderful televisit with my cardiologist today, Dr. Kim Williams, who now is Chief of Medicine at the University of Louisville Medical Center. So it was such a pleasure and a joy to talk with him. Always to learn about the latest in research that he is so up on in terms of plant-based nutrition and just medicine in general. So there's a couple of things that have been real interesting that he talked to me about, and I'm going to study a little bit more about them before I talk about them with you. But you know, I think what's so interesting in the field of medicine is that with new studies come new information. With new information, sometimes we have to change some of our preconceived thoughts, right, about what we're doing. And the object, of course, is to continue to work for our optimal health, right? That's what we're all about. So Dr. Williams always gives me wonderful information to think about and to review. So as soon as I get this latest article, actually it has to do with the use of extra virgin olive oil in lowering LDL cholesterol. And you know, for many years I've tried to avoid all kinds of olive oil, but I may have to readjust my thinking a little bit in terms of, is this something that might be a good thing for me? I don't know. I'm going to have to research it some more with him and talk more. So, okay, so we're getting there. So let's see. This is getting a little thicker. So I think the next step is that we remove it from the heat. I'll put it over here, and then we're gonna add just a little plain yogurt. This is a cashew yogurt. I'm gonna put it in and stir it in. This is sort of our creaminess, so we're not using tofu in this recipe. It's a cashew recipe. Look at that. That's starting to look like stroganoff, wouldn't you say, Dale?
Yep.
Are you ready for this for dinner tonight?
Sure am.
Good. Okay. I'm back to cooking again because when I was sick, I didn't want to eat and I didn't want to cook. But I know I'm better because I'm really hungry now and I'm back to cooking every day. So this is a good thing. Okay, so all you have to do, once you mix in the yogurt, so let me put this over here. I'm going to take my noodles and I'm going to stir them in. I hope they didn't get too clumpy together because I let them sit there for a few minutes. Just get those out and I'll separate them. Come on, noodles. It's such a simple, easy dinner, but doesn't this look really good? Especially like when the weather starts to change and you want a little bit more of that fall flavor in your cooking. So I'm going to actually stir this all together. Very pretty. And this is just enough for us. We don't need that whole recipe tonight. So let me get this stirred up. And then I'm going to do a taste test. You don't often see me tasting things because I usually put them in the oven or whatever. But today I'm going to taste. Okay, let me put a little bit in my bowl. See what we've got here. There we go. Okay, so let me take a little taste. Now she said you can add salt and pepper. Pretty good. Let's see what the mushroom tastes like. Very good. I'm going to add pepper. No, I'll use this pepper. But this time, remember that one time when I dropped a whole thing of pepper into the soup? We're not going to do that today. I'm holding on tight. I'm going to add some nice fresh pepper. And I'm going to add just a teensy-weensy bit of the sea salt. Just a teensy-weensy. Don't want a lot. And see how that improves the taste, the flavor. Put it back on the stove too. I'm going to heat it up a little more. Stir that in. Yeah, I can see the pepper. Pepper does wonders to all recipes. Okay, so let me put just a drop more in my little bowl here and see if that tastes good. Taste that. Yeah, that's really good. So try this. Very simple recipe. I think it's going to be a good one tonight, and I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time back in Chef Sherry's Plant-Based Kitchen. So long.